It's 2017. How have we not made more progress? Like, why didn't we solve this one yet? That seemed like it was in our grasp.
Which one?
Yeah. And so, then we had a couple people, Roger Thorough from the Chicago Council said, he's like, well, we might not have made as much progress as we thought, but people are certainly more like riled up.
Yeah.
So they're paying attention. So we're trying to.
Some people.
So we're trying
Certain
to.
people.
We're trying to get through it. That there is public awareness of different aspects of our emerging food problems and solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, based on your perspective, and you can use the word resiliency, that, how is it in 2017 that we are moving through this, hopefully towards a brighter future, a solution to any of our enumerated food crises?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think the concept of a food crisis or our food system is so big and so difficult to get your arms around that I think a lot of the challenge is just developing sort of a baseline understanding of what we're talking about. So what we're talking about is a food system that needs to feed like 9 billion people by 2050. And we're also facing a warming climate and poor soil and just a lot of lack of understanding from the various sectors as to what needs to be done and how we could possibly work together.
So we need to work together, which is what you just said. And so how is it that we show people that it's not so daunting that, oh, it's not my problem. Maybe April will take it on. But how do you show me that we need to work together, that it's in every household, it's in everyone, it's in front of all of us?
Well, that's a really good question. So I think there's a lot of great people doing consumer awareness campaigns about hunger, about food waste, about nutrition. But I think the key is going to be finding ways to talk about all those things at the same time. They're not separate silos. They're all part of this mix that we need to solve to understand the food system and make it better for everyone.
So you think public awareness and someone like yourself would be someone who can help deliver this and also be a filter and, show the accessibility that it's not just a big data scientist problem, but that, well, if I don't throw so much food away because I buy what I need rather than buying like Costco-sized amounts of pickles.
Right. So a lot of consumers today are faced with a glut of food, and a lot of it is cheap, and it's somewhat easy to get a hold of. There's a lot of messaging out there from the advertising world that talks about how we should buy 20-pound jars of pickles and things that we don't really need. So I think the key is trying to make the message as simple as possible, trying to get people to think a little bit more before they just run into the store and buy a bunch of stuff about what they're actually doing.
And by thinking more, that's being more resilient.
Being more, right. So one of the key challenges for putting a food system like our complicated one into more simplistic terms is trying to think about it as resilient. What are we going to do now to prepare for like the shocks of the future? We know that the climate is getting warmer. We know that there's going to be droughts. We know that there's going to be climate change. We know that there's going to be shifts in budget depending on which government we're talking to or we're talking about. The key is to try to prepare for these knowable shocks in advance and to have consumers play a role, to have business play a role, to have, large manufacturers play a role. Like everyone has a place in this.